Cancer, the October energies are here, and man, oh man, are they intense. Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Hello all, I'm Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to your Transformational Tarot for October for Cancer. And I'm so excited to be able to connect with you guys today. We are going to be pulling cards for you about this month using the Sweet Ass Affirmations 2 deck as your overarching theme. And then we are going to be pulling cards for you from the She's Wilderness deck, one of a handful of new decks that are in my collection. I hope you enjoy the imagery. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, Cancers. So let's get an anchoring affirmation for you to see what's going on for the themes in your life here in October. I consciously connect with my meals one bite at a time. What this says to me is this is a month where it's really going to be all about nourishment for you. Nourishment in the physical, in the obvious ways, but also I'm seeing in the spiritual, in the energetic. I'm feeling here that October is a time where there's a lot that you're going to have to celebrate, and that celebration is going to be wonderful, but you also need to kind of kick some people to the curb. Those that want to rain on your parade or want to step in to your celebration and kind of take it over. I feel like this is a month where it's all about you, and it's okay for it to be all about you. Also, the one bite at a time is indicating to me that this is a month where you're going to need to take things in small doses, to take things one step at a time, little nibbles. Nothing more than that. And I feel like that's because there's a timing factor here. And, you know, I often like to use the analogy that, of course, we can take a staircase 2 or 3 steps at a time and get up there faster. But each of those stairs represents an important aspect of learning of the journey. And if you're skipping those stairs, you're landing at the top with half or a third of the information that you really need in order to be fully successful, to fully embrace yourself and embody the experience that you're going to have. So I feel like that obviously consciously connect, being intentional about the way that you're nourishing yourself and also taking it bite by bite. This isn't about getting to the goal fast, even though there are times when you want it to be, because I feel like you've been waiting for a long time for your ship to come in. You know, there is some due, like you are due, definitely. But I'm also feeling here when I'm looking at this, the one bite at a time is really for you. It's so that you get all the information that you need, that you have all of the resources in order to be completely successful. You know, there's nothing worse than arriving at a destination and realizing you left, you know, the 1 or 2 items that you absolutely need. How many of us have done that before? You know, when you're traveling for work and you're so, you know, you're like uber conscious that you've taken hours to pack and make sure, and don't forget this, and you've checked your list like 4 times, and you left the one thing off the list that was the obvious, the whole point of the trip. And now you've got to either, you know, call someone from home to and spend $1 billion to, you know, expedite ship it to you, or you've got to spend, you know, $1 billion to go out on your time now to buy another one and to get that all set up and ready to go, right? So I feel like the one bite at a time is definitely the way to go. There's a lot of information you're going to be receiving this month, and you need time to process it, to take it all in. So give yourself permission to do so. All right. Presently, where are you at right now in your transformational journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Oh, interesting. 2 of Cups. Definitely in that space, I feel, of not wanting to be alone or not wanting to do things by yourself. Definitely looking for like-minded, like-hearted souls. I'm feeling a lot of companionship energy, friendship energy here. I want to say you're really looking to have some extra support, by having people around you. Now, some of this might be bringing up some dysfunctional or codependency energy, needing people around you because you're having a difficult time being alone, or you're uncomfortable being alone with your thoughts. This isn't for everyone. This is for certain people. But I feel ultimately like that need for companionship, that need for camaraderie, is a very human one. Nothing wrong with it at all. I feel like right now you just kind of want to know your why about it, simply because you're needing to consciously connect with what you're nourishing yourself with. And so sometimes when we get into this space, we just kind of pick and choose whoever it is that happens to be a body to fill that seat, not recognizing that that body doesn't actually fill the need that we have. They might be draining, or they might drive you nuts, or they defeat the purpose, or maybe they call you into addictions or areas of your life where you're trying to to stop, to make changes, and they're not supporting that. They're supporting something else. So I feel like right now you want to just get really clear on who you're keeping company with and why you're doing that. Or if you are in that space where you're feeling a little lonely, you're feeling like you want a little bit of companionship, I want to say get to the why. Make sure you understand your why, because we always are manifesting and co-creating every single second of the day of our lives. And the feelings that you're feeling when you are having a thought is what brings it into being. So you want to be clear on your why so that you can then be clear on the feeling that you have in order to manifest it. Conscious connection with your meals, conscious connection with the nourishment and what you are manifesting and co-creating for yourself. The catalyst for you here in October: what's fueling or hindering this transformation? And is this resistance or rocket fuel? Oh, beautiful. Okay. So the catalyst is a new vision. The catalyst is a thought, a recognition of, wow, I used to hang out with people like this, or I used to work in an environment that served all my needs in this regard. What happened to that? Where did I go wrong? Or where did I, what choice did I make that put me on a different path? Not so much where did I go wrong, because there are no wrong choices. We're all here to have experiences. But I feel like this star card is coming up to really highlight and evaluate for yourself where maybe you're not aligned with your vision, or where your vision needs to be more aligned with who you are choosing to become. Sometimes our vision, we carry our vision on from a previous version of ourselves, not realizing or recognizing that vision died along with that version. But we're still kind of hanging on to the dream, and then we can't figure out when we achieve the dream, it's not enough, or it feels lackluster, or we get stopped at every turn to achieving the dream. And it's because it's really no longer a dream. It's not aligned with where we're going and growing. So I feel like this star is the rocket fuel for you right now. You're recognizing where in your life you're feeling some holes, or feeling some missing components. And now the star card is inviting you to say, okay, let's take a look at that. Where do you want to be? Let's look at it by the light of the moon, because moonlight is light. It's still light, same as sunlight is. It's just not as bright. So you're going to be seeing things in a paler light, in a softer light, and it's going to give you a different perspective on what it is that you are looking at. I also feel here like when we're talking about this catalyst energy, for some of you, not all of you, I want to say about a third of you, there's going to be a bit of a health journey or a health crisis that comes up, either with you directly or with someone close to you. And it's going to bring about some real poignancy in terms of what you feel your priority needs to be. It's often that happens when we get sick. And we have like a near miss or something like that. It really brings to light, that thing that I was worrying about 2 seconds before I got the diagnosis, or 2 seconds before that car struck me. Those things don't matter. I was worrying about so many things that just don't matter. And so it brings you more into alignment with what does really matter. What is it that I'm really wanting to bring into my life? I keep hearing a lot of manifestation energy with you this month. So I definitely feel that October is a month that is aligning you to your manifestations. It's giving you the tools to be able to manifest very quickly and very clearly what that is that you're wanting, the actual thing that you're wanting, not the half-hearted or bastardized version or the unconscious version, which, no judgment, all of us go through it. You don't have to be a Cancer to go through that. It's a human condition, but definitely feeling that that's what's coming up for you guys here. Deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? The second two, I like that. Two of Wands. So I feel like the biggest thing that's driving you here is feeling like you're going to make the wrong choice, making the wrong call, choosing the wrong person, choosing the wrong job, choosing to get out of a job and then feeling like, oh my God, I made a mistake. I should have kept it. I feel like when this Two of Wands comes up, when it's talking about a deep root, I feel like what it's inviting you to do is to kind of go deeper within. And instead of say there's a right and a wrong, a good and a bad, a black and a white, you're looking at it instead and saying, this possibility can bring me this and this and this. This possibility can bring me this and this and this. Now let me try each possibility on as though it were a coat and notice how my body feels when it is wearing it. And then make the choice from there. Wands energy is our soul flame energy. It's our passion, our fire. It's the fuel that we use to get through our lives. And if this is at the deep root, the deep core of it, it's telling you that this is not being honored or recognized or realized. It's being overlooked or dismissed, or you're not understanding that that's the message that your soul is trying to tell you. So I definitely feel that this is motivating you in many ways to choose you. And again, we talk about that conscious connection with the meals, with the nourishment. Two of Wands says choose something that's going to be good for the soul, good for the soul long term, not something that's going to be, quick right now, flash in the pan, something that has substance. Interesting. Also, those two twos are really interesting because I definitely feel there's a lot of partnership, pairing, union, duality energy, creating a plan, new contracts, being considered. That star energy, there is definitely a new vision that you are embarking upon, that you're creating and envisioning and imagining, and then you're making the plan to step on that path. What is dying away for you right now? What role, pattern, or identity has run its course? Temperance. Wow. So playing it safe, balancing right in the middle, playing the line, making things that are going to turn out. So alchemy is a beautiful art of turning lead into gold, or taking it a step further, taking two objects that are, serve their own purposes individually, and when combined together, they create a third thing. They create a third purpose, a third tool, a third resource. And I just feel here like what's dying away for you is this idea that you can't take the risk and experiment. It's just easier to go with what you know, even if what you know isn't serving you any longer. It's almost like, not like you've been lazy, but like you've been so tired, so exhausted, so overwhelmed that it's just easier to do the easy thing. It's like, I can tell you right now, it's like me and takeout. I love to cook. But after, tuning in and reading for people for 8 hours a day, plus dealing with all the back end business of the work, I'm exhausted and I'm fried and I can't even put two sentences together, let alone stand in the kitchen and, prepare something for the next hour. And, it's silly. Of course I could do that. Sometimes by the time you order the thing and it comes to your door, it would have taken you just as much time to create the thing, right? But it's just the capacity piece. So I feel like that's what's dying away, is this idea that you no longer have the energy to try the new thing, to go that, take that little extra effort to do something slightly different. Again, not a judgment, not calling you lazy, just saying you're getting out of that energy of feeling the overwhelm and the exhaustion, and you're stepping more into a space where you can alchemize, you can take those two things and blend them together and see if it works. And maybe 8 out of 10 times it's successful, and 2 out of 10 times it's a disaster. Don't judge yourself for the 2 times of the disaster. See it as part of the process. Learn from it and move on. Choose a different resource to play with. Eventually, something's going to stick. Interesting. Okay, what is your highest phoenix potential? What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward this month? This is your breakthrough energy. Ooh, interesting. Knight of Swords. I'm feeling for some of you, this is like a potential lover. New love. If you're in a relationship, I feel like this is your partner stepping more into this energy, into space, maybe in a surprising way. I also feel like when I see this Knight of Swords energy, the feeling here is kind of like throwing caution to the wind. Knight of Swords stands up and, when the Queen says, I have a task for you, I have a quest, I need you to go and get, A, B, and C from the next kingdom over. Or I need you to go and, hold the boundaries, protect the battlefield, protect our lands. Knight of Swords is literally the first knight up there. He already has his sword, raised, ready to go. He's going to answer the call. He's not even necessarily going to ask a bunch of questions about it. And maybe that's part of the problem sometimes. Ask some questions so that at least you have an understanding of why. Yes, you can say, yes, you're ready to go, but kind of know why you're going, or know the kind of the energy or the reasoning behind it, simply because that can help you along the journey. So I definitely feel like what's rising from the ashes here for you is this definitely like more movement forward. We were just talking about that with the Temperance card. Having more energy to be able to do those things that brought you joy in the past, or do those things that maybe simplify your life. And the way I would describe that is, rather than doing takeout like I described all the time, you do meal prep. So you prep your meals for the week, and you set aside a couple of hours to do that on a Sunday, and then your whole week is good to go. And yeah, it was 2 hours of your time, but now that's saved you, 10 hours or 12 hours of your week. It saved you money in your pocket. It saved you stress and hassle, like all the things and the stuff, right? So don't cut your nose off to spite your face. I also feel like your soul is calling you towards a new quest, and that it is a new quest that is connected to how you're choosing to communicate with others in your realm. This is for all of you across the board, but it's going to hit you, each of you, in different ways, because we are all, on different parts of our paths. So some of you, it's going to be in your personal life. Some of you, it's going to be in your career path. Some of you, it's going to be family or friends. Some of you, it's going to be in the spiritual. But I really feel like your soul is really calling you towards more movement, saying yes to the quest. And, there's a certain component of this that's great. Like I said, the Knight of Swords is going to say yes regardless, but sometimes he does it because he just wants to fight. He doesn't care about the why. I feel like here you definitely want to care about the why. Your soul is calling you to understand the why, but your soul is also calling you to use that enthusiasm for the quest to move you forward and move you ahead. This could have also easily been the Chariot card, and I feel like you're seeking a victory. You're seeking movement. In fact, I feel like you're craving it, right? Like you'll take it over anything else. I feel like October is bringing that movement to you. Okay, what's emerging for you around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support this next phase for you? Nothing standing out yet. Oh, there we go. The Lovers card. Interesting. So we do have the Two of Cups here for you, and we also have the Lovers. That's pretty significant when you get the Soulmate card and the Lovers card together. So when we are talking about what's emerging for you just around the corner, I definitely feel that there is the companionship that you're seeking, and it's going to, I want to say, be with someone or with individuals that are like-minded and like-hearted. We talk about that nourishment. It's definitely going to bring you nourishment. These are also, I feel, connections that you're going to make that are going to be deep and lasting. So this isn't flash in the pan. This isn't friends today, gone tomorrow. This definitely feels like you're setting down roots. You're meeting people that feel like they're really solid, salt of the earth. People that are going to be around for a really long time, and people that are going to be a great reflector for who you are to them, who you are out in the world, mirrors for who you are in very positive ways. I really feel like this is kind of going to boost your confidence. Feeling a lot of that energy, a confidence boost is coming up. Can't say I'm mad at that. That sounds great. All right, you in this process, how are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting the transformation? Are you flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? Oh, interesting. Queen of Cups. So I feel here like I'm really getting the sense here that this is who you want to be, but you're not quite feeling that this is who you are. Now, it is a cup energy. Queen of Cups specifically is the Scorpio card, but you are a water sign as well. So this can easily fall into your wheelhouse. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's that you feel like you're a little out of practice with this, or you've always been the princess and never the queen, or always a bridesmaid, never a bride, like feeling always that second, the second option or the second best or the second choice. And I feel like when we talk about you in this process, like this is the role that you're playing, you want to be very aware of that, because if that's the story that you're telling yourself, then that's absolutely what you're going to be. That's how others are going to see you. That's what's going to be reflected to you, if that's really what you believe. But if this is who you want to be right now, I feel like this is a time here in October where there's nothing stopping you. There's nothing that says you can't be this person. And in fact, there are really no hoops that you need to jump through. I would say just choose to be it. And what does it mean to be the Queen of Cups? You are compassionate. You are kind. You are very loving. You open your heart. You open your arms. You say, you're struggling. Come to me. Let me give you a hug. I might not be able to fix everything, but I can make you feel a little better. Queen of Cups has a lot of structure around her own feelings and emotions. She's not afraid of her ocean of emotion, right? She has done the deep dive. She knows everything that's in there, and none of it scares her. She's not necessarily proud of all of it, but she's also not ashamed of it either. And so, this is a great thing to aspire to be. Hands down, no question. But there's no reason that you can't say, this is who I am right now. And it's all about being intentional, one bite at a time, checking in with your feelings and emotions. And remember, feelings are neither true nor false. They simply are. So it's acknowledging what you're feeling, but not getting lost in the feeling, and then connecting to, well, how do I want to feel? How do my people, my soul people, see me? If I'm not sure about where I'm at in my life, I can look to how they see me as a way to be able to mirror that back to myself, as a little roadmap for me to be able to say, this is how I'm going to choose to behave, because this is how they see me. I'm going to choose to do that and sort of see how it happens. I like to say you're borrowing the characteristics that are already within you. Maybe they're just a little buried or a little submerged. And this is you borrowing the characteristic from someone else, fake it till you make it, until you have found your own confidence or your own excitement or your own joy or whatever it happens to be. So I feel like this Queen of Cups energy is coming to remind you that this can be you in this process. You just have to choose it. You have to say, yes, this is me. It's not I got to jump through 57,000 hoops and take a course in order to be that. It's no, I am that. And let me step into that. Let me wear that like a coat and get to know what that feels like for me. Loving that. Circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it a positive or negative influence? Interesting. The Sun card. I want to make sure I haven't missed anything. Let me just make sure that we're good. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, I'm good. Okay. Just wanted to double check that. I love that you got the Sun card here. So the light, the truth, friendships, companionship is definitely going to support you. It's exactly what you're seeking is what you now are giving yourself. Take a look at this. We've got this pairing all the way across. That companionship that you're seeking, it's here for you. It's showing up in October. Lean into that energy, lean into that frequency, trust that it is here for you. The Sun brings truth. And I feel like you can't shy away from the Sun. You can't say, wow, it's so bright that it's showing me everything, all the things that I want to see and all the things that I don't want to see. So maybe I'll just, go for a swim into the depths for a little bit to get away from the Sun. No. That is not this time. You've been in the depths for a while. That's why you're feeling this craving to have some connection. The Sun is going to bring that. The Sun is growth. The Sun brings life. The Sun grows those flowers. This provides the nourishment that you're seeking. And I just noticed like the Sun, and we have the avocado, but we have orange juice and we have a beautiful orange. So the yellow, the orange colors are matching the cards, the overall theme of the cards, but definitely matching the Sun. So I really feel like this is the sweetness of the Sun, the sweetness of life, the sweetness, stepping into that, saying yes to that. That's how you're going to be supported. But I am going to say to you, you got to choose it. And yeah, it might feel a little scary to lean in. It might feel a little scary to poke your head out of the water for a little bit, to get out a little bit out of the darkness. In order, you're afraid you're going to get burned, right? But I don't feel that that's what's going to happen at this time. October energy is really here to support you, especially when we've got these three here. I mean, like right across the map. I mean, you can't make this shit up, right? So definitely this is the time for you to embrace this. You are being supported. Source is supporting you. Your manifestings, believe it or not, are also supporting you. Okay. What are you dreaming of becoming, and what scares you about actually doing it? Oh, no, I guess it's this one. Interesting. So you're afraid you're going to be too grounded. You're afraid that because you have in some ways felt a bit starved of that deeper connection, that once you have it, you're going to get a little needy, a little clampy. You're not going to want to let it go. You're afraid that you're going to go into previous patterns of, the word I'm hearing is weakness. This is a card of shadow work. It's a card of the rebel. It's also a card of our vices, addictions, and our vices, and feeling helpless to overcome our desires in a lot of ways, and excess. And I feel like this is the fear for you, is the excess. I've been so starved of this real, true, deep connection in whatever area that it's affecting you, that now I'm afraid once I get it, I'm not going to want to let it go. And I might get a bit codependent, or I might get a bit needy, or I might get maybe even a bit avoidant, and push some of these wonderful opportunities and wonderful people and situations away because I'm afraid that it's not going to be sunshine and daisies, wine and roses. But I do want to say to you that the devil is coming up because it's time for the light to be shone on that shadow component of yourself, right? That's part of the issue, is some of this has been buried. It's been, kind of clamped down or smothered. You want to let that go. You want to allow this to come out into the sunlight, because once we let the light on it, it changes things entirely, and you see it for exactly what it is. And then it doesn't have control over you. You now have control over it. And I feel like that's why it's coming up. All right, we are at the outcome. If you stay the course this month, who will you be on the other side of this journey? Ooh. And what is the result of embracing the full cycle of death and rebirth? It is a full rebirth. And I feel like where you start off, where you're feeling, kind of starved for the connection, you're going to come out the other side ready for that new beginning. Ready. The slate has been cleared. That old version of you, the sadness, the loneliness, the longing, it's all dead. Dead, done, gone, and over with. And you are basking in the sun. And it is glorious. I also love that we've got moon energy here. You feel safe and comfortable in the moon. There's an energy of feeling like home. So I feel like you're not abandoning home for the sun. I feel like you're bringing balance to that energy, where you're getting a little bit out of this and going into this for a while, but then you can come back home and regroup, and then you go back out, and then you come back in, and then you go back out. So I'm definitely feeling that this Ten of Swords is very much bringing you a rebirth. And by the end of this month, you're going to see your whole experience very differently than the way you start the month off. And I do feel that there's going to be tangible physical evidence that the universe has been working on your behalf to bring you connections that are lasting and meaningful and supportive and loving and compassionate, and all the things that you are and all the things that you need, either reflected back to you or given to you with open hands and an open heart. Cancer, what an incredible month for you. I cannot wait to see how this plays out. If you need any support or guidance, or needing assistance with the plan, click on the link below and book a session with me. I'm more than happy to connect and help you out. Otherwise, until I see you for another episode of Black Feather Couture, Divining a VIP Life, I am sending you lots of love, lifting you up with tons of support. We'll see you on the flip side, and transform well.